Well, this Friday coming, it's Black Friday, which has overtaken Boxing Day as the biggest sales day for retailers, and it'll be a welcome time for many retailers trying to recover after months of lockdowns and a lack of tourists. But right now, every retailer has to stop and to think.
Many Australian retailers have a dilemma right now. With supply shortages and expected hot consumer demand, should they go on sale or not? And if they do go on sale, when should they do it?
The simple fact of the matter is that to land goods here in Australia, particularly out of the Asia-Pacific region and more recently out of Europe, the cost of landing goods is simply going to have to be passed on.
Black Friday kicks off next week. It's the biggest retail day of the year. Then it's Cyber Monday, followed by the lead up to Christmas and the Boxing Day sales. Traditionally, the time retailers clear stock. Scentre Group, the owner of Westfield centres in Australia, says lockdowns and high savings rates mean shopper demand will be strong.
For us, it's a really important event in our calendar, and we start preparing almost as soon as it's finished. We're into it in the beginning of the year thinking, well, how can we do it differently? What's important to customers? What's their feedback been? How can we make it more memorable? How can we make it easier? And how can we make it more festive?
Customers have returned quickly to the stores. Westfield says foot traffic is increasing each weekend.
We know that Q4 of any year is the biggest trading season for a lot of our retail partners. And if we follow similar trends to what we've done in the past, there's a lot of pent-up demand. And I think there's a real strong anticipation that if you're talking about traffic and sales levels, that we will see things almost to pre-COVID levels.
Boutique retailer Sorry Thanks I Love You hopes Westfield is right. It has just opened a permanent store in Sydney's CBD.
We curate high-end fashion and design, but we also interweave things like yoga classes and wine workshops, and also a specialty coffee and chocolate bar in this case. We started out as an online gift-giving store, which is where the name came from, and we've since morphed into, obviously, a bricks and mortar concept.
Being able to touch and feel products in store and try them out is important.
So what have we got here?
Here we have, it's a bag made by Issey Miyake. It's called the Bao Bao bag. So the idea is that you can kind of squish it and fold it, and it's always changing its shape.
For online shopping giant Amazon, Black Friday, 5 days from now, is one of the most important annual events.
So Black Friday is actually one of our biggest shopping events of the year. What we're seeing is that customers are typically looking for holiday gifts and bargains early, more so than Boxing Day. We actually think it's a really great chance for customers to stock up on items and actually get some savings for the holidays and beat the Christmas rush.
Amazon has almost finished building the Southern Hemisphere's first robotic fulfilment centre. It's the biggest warehouse built in Australia at Kemps Creek in Western Sydney. The building holds 37,000 yellow storage pods, which house up to 20 million of the smaller products Amazon sells.
We have actually scaled up the capacity of our fulfilment centres. We've got 60% more space for stock to be stored. We've also brought on an additional 1,000 people to help pick and pack orders so they can get out in time for customers for the holidays.
International shipping costs remain elevated, with supply chains under COVID-induced pressure. This, in turn, helped inflation hit a 6-year high in Australia and a 31-year high in the United States. Petrol, building materials and electrical goods have all increased in price in the past year.
The global shortage of computer chips and the problems with supply chains bringing items into the country mean retailers need to make critical decisions this Christmas about what to put on sale.
I think with discounting, it all evolves around the amount of stock that retailers are holding on to. Now, stock that hasn't moved over the winter months and the spring months are going to be discounted. The real question, though, is are retailers going to be able to land new stock and new supply to replace what goes on sale?
And for smaller boutique retailers, it's meant ordering plenty of stock in advance.
We've been really lucky throughout lockdown. We were constructing our new space, so we had heaps of time to prepare and plan for this new concept, which also gave us a bit of wiggle room for any issues like that. So we've been lucky in that regard.
But the challenge for all bricks and mortar lie with their customers. Are they confident enough to return to stores? Confident enough to spend?
High Street are going to find it the toughest to get back to what the new normal will be. Look around you today. the numbers aren't great. I mean, it's great to see the activity levels that we're seeing. I can assure you that pre-COVID pedestrian numbers back here in the CBD are running somewhere around about 30-35%. If I look at the door counts that we have in some of the centres that we manage for some of our clients across the CBD, those door count figures are trending 30-35 and increasing weekly. Now, those numbers need to be well over 50 and 60% for the money to flow into the cash registers.